Hello, I am Pastor Toby Philpart, moderator of the Florida East Coast Baptist Association. The Florida East Coast Baptist Association aims to effectively do ministry through evangelism, missions, and Christian education. In a short period of time, we have been able to do so. We've created nearly 100 covenant partnerships as of date, allowing us to fund over $1,100 to each of those respective areas. But we have just begun. Our goal as we approach our annual session in February is 150 partners. We can achieve this goal only with your help. So please help us make an impact in kingdom building and experience the spiritual joy of knowing what it feels like to be able to proudly say, I too am a covenant partner.
My name is Melinda Collins, and I am president of the Women's Department of the Northern Fellowship, and I too am a covenant partner.
Good day. I am Pastor Benjamin H. Parrott Sr. I am grateful to serve as the president of the Florida East Coast Missionary Baptist Association District Congress of Christian Education, and I too am a covenant partner.
Hi, my name is LaWanna Parrott, Department Head for the Youth and Young Adult of the Florida East Coast Missionary Baptist Association. I too am a covenant partner.
Hello, I'm Pastor Howard B. Barr Jr., Northern Fellowship President of the Florida East Coast Baptist Association. I'm too a covenant partner.
Hello, my name is Woodrow Hay. I'm an administrative assistant for the Florida East Coast. I too am a covenant partner.
Hello, my name is Deacon Raymond Smith Sr. I am the president of the Layman's Men Auxiliary for the Florida East Coast Baptist Association, and I too am a covenant partner.
Hello, I am Angela Shellman. I serve as chairman of the Scholarship Committee of the Florida East Coast Baptist Association. I too am a covenant partner.
Hello, my name is Reverend T.T. Shellman Sr. I'm the first vice moderator for the Florida East Coast Baptist Association, and I too am a covenant partner.
Hi, I'm Sister Gloria Jackson Davis. I'm the Women's Auxiliary President of Florida East Coast Baptist Association, and I am a covenant partner.
Hello, I'm Calvin A. Davis Sr., pastor of Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, third vice moderator of the Florida East Coast Missionary Baptist Association. I too am a covenant partner.
Hi, I am Pauline Stinson Scott, the president of the Women's Department of the Southern Fellowship. I too am a covenant partner.
Hello, my name is Larry Lovett. I am the second vice moderator of the Florida East Coast Association. I too am a covenant partner.
Hello, I'm Sonja Philpart. I am a member of the Florida East Coast Baptist Association, and I too am a covenant partner.
Hello, my name is Pastor Demetric Ford. I am a vice president of the Northern Fellowship of the Florida East Coast Baptist Association, and I too am a covenant partner.
My name is Samelia Shellman, and I represent the Florida East Coast Baptist Association as the Junior Red Circle President of the Florida General Baptist Convention, and I too one day will be a covenant partner.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. We greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior, He who is worthy to be praised. We do thank God for this golden opportunity to encourage you and invite you to go to our website and review the various workshops that will be going on Tuesday and Wednesday. There's something for everybody. There's something for every church. Something for every pastor, very interesting, informative information. So we ask that you do be a part and let us pray for the victory of this week in fellowship. I just want to remind us on Thursday evening, our president of our women department, Sister Pauline Scott, will be coming to us by Zoom. And if you miss her, you miss a treat. She will be coming at the 6 o'clock hour. Please let us be prayerful and pray that God's will be done. Following Sister Pauline Scott at 6 to 7 on Thursday evening, from 7:15 to around 8:15 or whatever the Lord say, Pastor Kenny McGee will be coming to break unto us the bread of life. And then we will move on as the Spirit lead us. God bless you. God bless you. And let us pray for a wonderful time in fellowship this week.
Greetings. How are you doing today? My name is Eric Stark. I'm with Stark Financial Services. We are an independent insurance agency located and based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with offices also in Alabama, Louisiana, and North Carolina. What we do here, we do Medicare, life insurance, health insurance, and retirement plans. So right here, I'm going to give you guys a e-copy of my brochure right here. It has the name of the company and everything on it. Has a picture of me on the back when I had more hair. But our focus is Medicare, life, health insurance, and retirement plans, as I said before. What we want to make sure is that there is an understanding of what Medicare is and how it is available to you. Medicare is for people who are turning age 65 or who might have gotten disabled before 65 and qualified for Part A and Part B. So we do help people find with Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare supplements, as well as standalone prescription drug plans if need be. It really depends on the situation. No plan is alike. So one plan might choose from the other, but that's why we have several different companies to choose from that might be available for you in your area if you decide to utilize our services. Now, there's also, for our life insurance side, we have life insurance with several different companies as well. And that's really the broker difference, what we bring to the table. Being a broker allows us to contract with several different companies so that we can find the right company that's going to fit you. Because again, just like Medicare, all plans are not alike. And we can shop around and find the best price of what you really trying to accomplish with the policies that you want. And, we do Affordable Care Act insurance, aka Obamacare as well. But we also do group health insurance for small, medium, and large size business, whether it's for the private sector or for the public sector. So we're pretty much well divisive in it. I have about 15 to 20 agents that work for me around the state of Florida. And again, with offices located with Louisiana, North Carolina, Alabama, I have more agents there to help to take care of you if you have the need services in those particular areas as well. Now, how I got my business started in this area. I started in this business about in 1994, and my dad was actually the first Black insurance agent for Metropolitan Life in Miami, Florida. And so my dad did really good. It was $1 million round table and everything. But for my dad, he just said, his son, it just wasn't enough for me because my dad had me, my brother, an ex-wife, and everything else going on. So it just was not enough for him financially to continue on in this business. So real estate was his game, and he did fantastic there. Now for me, when I moved down here from back out of college, I was thinking about making a career choice, and I thought about real estate because of what my dad was doing, and then I thought about insurance. And so I said, you know what, I can do real estate, and I think I'd be really good at it. But in real estate, you get a check here and there. But with insurance, I can get a check every week, every 2 weeks, if not every day. So I chose insurance, and that's how I got my start. It was just a day-by-day grind, but mostly not so much of a hard grind. It was really the blessings of God that really allowed me to expand and build my company in the way that He wanted it to go. And I appreciate that so much about how Jesus has really looked out for me and taken good care of me and helping me to be a better man than I would have ever dreamed of. I would have never dreamed of I would have gotten this far. But, but all calluses, insurance has been a great business for me. So if need be, I'm also looking for people who are looking for franchises. So if somebody's interested in getting into the Medicare, life, health, and retirement business full time as a home-based business, they just give me a call. I have franchises available around the country that we can do this with. So let's get back into what we're going to say about with our health insurance. We have group health insurance, as I mentioned before. Our group health insurance plans are for companies that are 2 employees and up. But those 2 employees must be not related to each other. So it can't be a husband and wife. It'd have to be you and somebody who's not related to you for those companies. Again, we have contracts with several different insurance carriers that we can utilize for you. And maybe you're just not looking for the medical portion of it. Maybe you're just looking for maybe dental, vision, or hearing insurance, maybe group life insurance. We have those for you as well. My focus is building a business that was more full service rather than just a one trick pony. I love Medicare. Medicare has been an outstanding business for me. However, I've seen the benefits of being able to be more expansive in doing different things, but underneath insurance to where I was more of a service to help people out and be able to build stuff up. Now we're doing for the retirements, we're looking at doing the annuities. Now the annuities is really a good thing, especially for retirees looking to retirement, because you might have a lump sum of money that you might want to move over into an annuity. Money that you don't necessarily need. You just want to get a good return of interest off of your money. We have those companies. We have several different companies to choose from, like Midland National. We have American National. We got Prudential. We have MetLife. We have North American. We have several different companies that you can choose from that can really you can get the most out of your monies that you want to do with. Annuities is a great vehicle for a retiree for that. But let's go back to life insurance. Life insurance, maybe you just want to buy a jumbo life insurance policy. Those can be a very good retirement vehicle as well, depending on how you utilize it. So those things we also want to look at to make sure that we're going to give you the best service for the dollars that you are inquiring about and what do you want to get. Now, let me kind of tell you a little bit about Medicare again, and maybe because I don't think I've really gone into what Medicare does. So I did tell you that Medicare is for people turning age 65, or they might be disabled before 65 and they qualify for Parts A and Parts B. So there's Medicare Advantage. So that Medicare Advantage plans make up as Part A, hospital, Part B, doctor's office, and Part D, prescription drugs. Now, and that's where that Part C comes in, that the Fed set up there. That Part C makes up Part A, B, and D. Now let's say a Medicare Advantage plan is not what you want, and you want to get a Medicare supplement. Well, that's fantastic. I love Medicare supplements. Medicare supplements are great plans, but they can be very expensive because remember, you're paying for that on a monthly basis, where typically, depending on what area you live at in the country, most Medicare Advantage plans don't cost anything. So when you choose a Medicare supplement, you have to choose a standalone prescription drug plan as well, because Medicare does not cover standalone prescription drug plans. So that you have to purchase by itself. And keep in mind, with Med Supps, you're paying for parts. You're paying for the plan, your Part B premium of whatever it might be. I think for 2020 it's $148.50, and then you're paying for the standalone prescription drug plan. So I find those plans very good for people who can afford it. If somebody's looking for something that's a little bit more reasonable, an HMO or a PPO Medicare Advantage plan could benefit you greatly in that realm, because they really do give you the benefits that you're looking for. As well as we know Medicare does not cover dental, vision, or hearing, but most Medicare Advantage, so you can get a plan that does cover for that. Medicare supplements do not cover dental and vision and hearing. However, they do offer plans that you can purchase separately that can cover it for you. Okay, so you want to always keep that in mind. And as well as if they're with MedSups, they'll give you, if they're not covering it, they're going to give you a discount on a dental or vision service or something like that. You know, it's just something nominal. You know, you really want to have a good plan, because in this COVID-19 time, I've seen where if you don't have a good medical insurance, you're going to lose, and you can lose, and it could cost you your life. And that's the part that we don't want. I have envisioned to seeing something where I could really help the people. I really want to help people to succeed. I appreciate that the fact that I've been able to do the type of work that I do, because I envision insurance not just as a way as to make a living, but I see it as a way that I could really help people. I started out in the life insurance business. In fact, I started out with Metropolitan Life. And I said to myself, I said, you know, I can do what they're doing. I don't need to be contracted with just one company. I can do what they're doing and do it on my own and do it successfully. And that's what I did. And so I was able to get involved, and I did the life insurance, and I did it well. And then I saw the life insurance business slowing down, and I said, life insurance business is slowing down. What's going on? And I said, you know, I always heard about Medicare, and Medicare versus life insurance. Medicare is a business where I felt like I was really helping somebody, because not only can my agents and I get you and sign you up into a Medicare Advantage plan, but guess what? We can also qualify you to see if you qualify for Medicaid. We can qualify you to see if you qualify for a low income subsidy, which is extra help to lower the cost of your prescription drugs. Because if you fit, there's a place for you. And that's what I saw the benefit of what Medicare really was. It really allowed me to help me to expand on my service, not just from a point of making money, but from a point that I'm really serving my community there, by finding all the benefits that they might qualify for. Because a lot of people don't want to apply for Medicaid because it just takes too much time. They don't want to take the time out. It takes 10 minutes to do the application. The LIS takes maybe like 12 minutes to do the application, something like that. But it's all good for you. And if it can save you money and you can benefit, why not do it? There are times where I know one lady, or one gentleman, I should say, his plan was about $300 just for every month for his insulin. And once I got him LIS for him and his wife, it went down to zero. And he was ecstatic. So this is what really, to me, is what it's all about. You know, God has given us all a certain gift. You might have the gift of gab. You might have the gift of healing. You might have the gift of prophecy. But, you know, I think I just got the gift of knowing to help people and really want to see the good work being done here. And so we have to continue to do the things that are right to help expand our horizon and make sure that the people, not just our community, but the people in this country are getting the help that they need, that they can do this. And I know with Stark Financial Services, I've been able to do this over the past 25 years, which is a very long time for a guy that's only 52 to be celebrating that he's done this for almost a better part of over half of his life. But God has given me a great gift. So if you need Medicare assistance, just call me or call one of my agents. We have a toll-free number. It's called 1-833-782-7531. That's 1-833-782-7531. And it's 1-833-782-STARK1. Our local number is 954-281-2385. And then also my personal cell phone number is 305-546-4359. Either way, you'll be happy to reach me, and I'll be happy to talk to you or direct you to one of my agents that can possibly help you. We do have Creole speaking agents. We have Spanish speaking agents as well. So if you find that you need someone of that caliber, we can help you out there as well. Now, I also want to talk to you a little bit more about the Obamacare plans that we're doing. So ACA was formed about over 10 years ago by President Obama to help people get affordable health insurance coverage, and pre-existing conditions would be covered. And that was a very big deal because some of us do have pre-existing conditions. And before Obamacare came around, those pre-existing conditions were not going to be covered right away. They were going to be, you would have to wait 2 or maybe 3 years for that plan to cover that condition after you've paid in 2 to 3 years worth of premium. But because of President Obama, all that changed around for us. So now we have ACA. And we apply for ACA typically during the months of November 1st through December 15th, which is open enrollments for ACA. But there is called special open enrollment periods. So the special enrollment periods, if you do qualify, you can basically join a plan during sometime during the year. You might have lost credible health insurance through your job. You might have moved to a different county or a different state. You might have gotten married. Okay. And if you're American Indian, you have an SEP all the time to get health insurance anytime you want. But there are different programs out there that can utilize you for that. We have short-term medical policies. Maybe Obamacare is not your thing. Maybe Obamacare is just too much money for you. So we do offer short-term medical policies through companies like United Healthcare or North or National General that can help you out. We do offer standalone dental, vision, and hearing plans. You can get those. You can go look at our website. It's www.starkfin.com. That's www.starke, the abbreviation for financial, fin.com. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can go see the list of logos. Click on one of those logos. You can actually get a quote for health, short-term medical, dental, vision, and hearing from either one of those companies. And if you need assistance, just give me a call at 305-546-4359, and I'll be happy to help you out too if you're having difficulties and trouble. Okay. And so now we get back to the health insurance and what we're doing here. Our need is really to try to help the people to expand on what they need. We want to see people get the coverage that they desire at an affordable cost, of course. And what's affordable, Eric? You know what? I don't know what affordable is. It really depends on what your income is. We can design something that's affordable for you. My take on life insurance has always been buy what you can afford, and then we can add on more later. And that's always been my take on the life insurance. If we buy what we can afford, then we won't be overspending and then lose what we've put our money into over that time. Medicare, of course, doesn't work like that. Medicare just says, hey, it's either $0 or $100 a month or whatever it might be. And then, hey, then that's it. And then that's it. Typically, it's $0 for our Medicare plans, unless it's a Medicare supplement. So then it makes a different ball game as far as affordability. Our retirement plans, our retirement plans are basically what you want to put in is what you get out of it. The more money that you can put aside is the more money that you can get back in return. But I and my agents want to be your point of reference in order to see that your family and you are covered and protected so that you can live peacefully and not worry. We also offer long-term care policies as well. So if you have a desire for a long-term care policy, we have several different companies, I think is only about 3 in the country that offer individual long-term care policies that we can help you get quotes on and apply for as well. All right. So if you have a desire for long-term care, try to look at that. Long-term care policies is one of those things that most people typically overlook. And if you get them at a younger age, in their 40s or 50s, they're not really that expensive. But it's typically when you get past 65, that's when those long-term care policies get to be very expensive and pretty much price you out. That way, if we do wind up looking at a long-term care policy, I might advise you, hey, this long-term care policy looks too expensive. Why don't we look at a life insurance policy with a long-term care rider? Because life insurance policies now do offer long-term care riders. And if we do that, then we could probably save maybe half the money. We have a rider on there. And what the life insurance is going to do is, if the policy is $500,000, it's going to pay maybe like 90% to you because you have been disabled for like 90 days or 60 days. You can't work anymore. And so that face amount, 90% of it is going to be given to you for your living. That way you can afford a private duty nurse. Because remember, Medicare does offer some nursing home care. However, it's not comprehensive. I think it's maybe like 35 hours a year, which is really nothing. And so whereas you don't want to try not to be too much of a burden on your kids, then you might think about getting that long-term care policy for yourself so that you can have it. I have a client that has done that, and she's had to use it twice. And she loves it. She loves what she has because it's not putting a burden on her grandkids. The grandkids can still live their life, go to work, go to play, whatever they want to do. But she has a private duty nurse to come in 24/7 to make sure that she is taken care of. So keep that in mind when you're doing your retirement planning. Now, when you're doing your retirement planning, it's always best to kind of really start out. If you can start in your 30s, maybe 40s at the latest, you really want to look at doing that. And the more you put away, the more you can save for your future. Now, mutual funds are great, stocks and bonds are great. I find life insurance to really be a better vehicle, a safer vehicle to where I won't be losing my capital. Typically, most life insurance policies, depending on what you get, can pays about guaranteed interest, I think about 3 or 4%, depending on the company. So typically right now, I see most people, for the majority of the country, have gotten like 3.5%. I personally know people that lived on the stock markets from all of their investments, and now that their stock investments are getting around 3.5%, it can no longer afford to pay them a monthly income that it was doing for 15 years. So, but one guy, he actually had a whole life insurance policy. So then that whole life insurance policy, he had about maybe $100,000, $150,000 worth of cash value, something like that. That whole life insurance policy with those cash values has what he has used to help sustain him to where until the market gets to a point where it can correct itself. And so he's happy that he's done that, because all you're doing is you're taking money from out of the cash values of the policy. You don't have to pay the money back. All you got to do, hey, look, once you pass away and you leave this earth, you can just whatever what was owed, they'll just deduct that from the face amount and then give your beneficiary the rest tax-free. Because remember, life insurance is a tax-free death benefit. And that's something that you always want to keep in mind, that when a life insurance policy is paid out to your beneficiary, they receive that money tax-free. And that's a good thing to have, especially in a climate that we live in today. Tax-free is definitely where we want to be, or anything that can mitigate our taxes is where we want to be. All right. So now with annuities, annuities are going to be tax deferred. So, when you typically start taking it out, or somebody gets it, that's when you have to pay your taxes on it. But annuities, again, can be a very good vehicle for you, depending on what you're looking at doing with it. All right. I like high yield stuff. I like high yield returns. And I think that's something that we all want. We just want the most bang for our buck, so that we can say, all right, hey, I put in $10,000 and it's been 2 years and now I got $15,000. That's an excellent return for anybody. If somebody knows of something like that, call me. I want to know about it. I want to invest with you. But there's other things that our company does for you. Stark Financial Services is here to serve the needs of the people. We want to see you guys grow. We want to see you guys protected. We want you to be able to refer us to somebody else and say, hey, check out Stark. They'll treat you nice, and they'll treat you fair and honest. And that's what we want to do for you guys. We want to grow you. We want you to sustain you. And we want to see your lives change forever out of some of the good work that we've done for you. So again, you can reach me at 305-546-4359, my personal cell. The office number is 954-281-2385. And then our toll-free number is 1-833-782-7531. We're here to serve, and we're happy to serve you. And please call me anytime with any questions. If I'm not available, I have agents that I can direct around to you that can assist you in just the same manner, but with love and care. All right. This is Eric Stark, and thank you for your time. Have a blessed day.
Hello, Florida East Coast. I'm Pastor James Pope from the Marlin Missionary Baptist Church of South Miami, where we believe that you can experience the oil of God. We're here to talk about regathering and some best practices that you can do in your church. I have Minister Tim Griffin from the Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church of Pompano, Florida, and I have our State Director, Ophelia Wilson, from Marlin Missionary Baptist Church of Fort Lauderdale. I think we have some information that can help you and your church regather and open up real nice. Take it away, Tim Griffin.
Thank you, Pastor Pope. Matthew chapter 22, Jesus said, love God with all of your heart, all of your mind, and all of your soul. And then he said, the second is likened unto the first. Love your neighbor as you love thyself. Listen, we're giving you today some prerequisites during the pandemic. And we hope that you can use these in your church when you get ready to do your relaunch, your reopen, and your reuniting. Hey, pastors, feel your boy. Listen, you don't have to lead your church perfect, but you can lead your church well. We got some good information for you. God bless you, and I hope you like what we got planned for you.
Thank you, Minister Griff. I want to talk about the relaunch. What hasn't moved? Our greeters haven't moved. Our ushers haven't moved. Our security team has not moved. We really need them. So we have to come up with a protocol when we relaunch. What has to move? The meet and greet. We cannot do pass the peace anymore. Touch your neighbor. Hug your neighbor. Kiss your neighbor. Shake your hand. You know, that is out now. This is what we're talking about when we explain about the relaunch. And then what gets moved? We no longer can hand out programs. We no longer can hand out fans. And so this is the part of the relaunch that we're talking about. We need to take a look how we do our relaunch.
I want to talk to you about the reopen. There are some things that we're going to need when we get ready to reopen our churches. The first thing we got to make sure we have, you got to make sure that the greeters have these products. You got to make sure that the security have these products. And you got to make sure the ushers have these products. The first thing we're going to need, you're going to need hand sanitizer. We must make sure we have an adequate supply of hand sanitizer. You must have hand sanitizer stations at your church there. You want to make sure that you have gloves. We got gloves for children, and we have gloves for adults. You want to make sure that you have the gloves, and you want to make sure that you have the mask. The mask and the gloves are very critical to you reopening your churches, because CDC guidelines says to stop the spread of COVID-19 and this other strand that they're talking about from South Africa, you're going to have to make sure you have masks. Masks going to have to be a premium at your church if you're going to slow the spread. Not only that, you want to make sure that you got infrared thermometers. You're going to have these thermometers because you don't want to have contact with people. You want to be able to, digitize, and you want to be able to take their temperature with the thermometers. You're going to have those. You're going to have to make sure that you have adequate gloves. Gloves are of a premium you must have, because you're going to have these gloves so that nobody are touching in the common areas, nobody are touching in the bathroom area, and you got to make sure that you continue to wash. Not only that, you're going to need an adequate supply of alcohol and Clorox wipes. You got to make sure that you have these disinfectants. You're going to have to make sure that you have the alcohol. All of these things are a must if we're going to properly and safely reopen our churches. Not only that, you must have Lysol. You got to make sure that you have Lysol so that you can spray down those areas that need to be sprayed down. You got Lysol wipes, and then also you have Lysol spray. These items are a must if we're going to reopen our churches safely and we're going to stop the spread of COVID-19. At this time, I want to bring back into the forefront our Director of Ushers, Sister Ophelia Wilson, and she's going to discuss with us 3 things. She's going to talk about gross contaminations, she's going to talk about seating arrangements, and lastly, she's going to talk about temperature checks. Sister Ophelia Wilson, our Director of Ushers.
I'm Sister Wilson, and I'm here today to talk to you about the new norm church. Okay, since the pandemic, things have changed, and we have to adjust to the things that have changed. And first, I want to start off with your temperature check. If you have a normal temperature, you have your mask on, you have your gloves, you will enter the sanctuary. If you have a temperature of 99.0, at that time we will let the wellness handle that, and they will follow protocol. Upon entering the church, if you're a family of 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6, the usher or the greeter will escort you in the church. They will take you to a certain area, designated area for groups, and at that time you will be social distanced, but you will be with your family. Everyone else singled out will be assisted by a greeter or usher to their seats. And we're talking if wellness, if someone was to start sneezing, coughing, or whatever, at that time, if you're even near someone like that, just put your hand up. We'll try to get the attention of the usher. And at that time, we contact the wellness for a box of tissue, some sanitizer, but the wellness will handle that. And these are just a few things, few small things, a few tips that will help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Wilson. And listen, before we get ready to go, we want to talk about the reuniting. And in reuniting, we want to look at 3 elements. We want to look at the bereavement, we want to look at baptism, we want to look at the choir, and then we want to look at communion. In the communion piece, we're recommending that the communion elements be given to the parishioners when they enter the building. And we're recommending that once the parishioners receive their communion elements and they get to their seat, once we take communion as a corporate body, we're asking the parishioners to maintain and to keep their communion elements. And when they get ready to exit the church, deposit their communion elements in the recyclable bins that will be at the door upon exiting the sanctuary. Not only that, we want to talk about the choirs. We're recommending that when the choirs are performing, when the choirs are ministering, that they do not face each other when they're ministering. We're asking that you use bromine as opposed to chlorine in the baptism water, because bromine has a way of disinfecting the water from any elements that may have contaminated the water when you're baptizing parishioners. Not only that, we want to look at this last thing. We want to look at bereavement. And in the bereavement piece, we're asking that no food be brought to the church, and we're asking that no food be taken to anyone's home in a bereavement type situation. God bless you, and thank you. Pastor Pope, close us out.
Wow, thank you so very kindly, Minister Griff, for giving us the reunite process of reuniting our church. I want to touch on a very important piece here. I want Sister Wilson to give you some very important information about exiting. How should you exit your church? And then I'm going to come back with final remarks. Sister Wilson.
Okay, upon exiting, I would like you to know that you will have to follow the directions of the ushers. What we're going to do is we're going to exit you in sections, and we're going to social distance. It will be someone in the front and someone in the rear of you. Please, no social distance, no communicating, laughing, talking, elbowing, and touching. Just try to exit, expeditiously, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Wilson, for giving us that information. Also, we want to let you know, be mindful of tracing and contact tracing. You should have something set up to know who entered your church and who you were present with you and worshiping. Some of the ways that we're taking a look at is this. You can have a register for your church, and so you don't know that who have been to your church on that Sunday or that particular Sunday. Or you can do what some people are doing. They're using barcodes where they can just scan their phones, and that information will go into the data of your church, and you'll know who was at your church doing your worship. Listen, Florida East Coast, it's been a absolutely phenomenal day, and we hope that this recommendations that you will be great to worship as one and be a great church in 2021. Thank you for joining us on this prerequisite after the pandemic. God bless you. We love you.
Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good work and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Greetings. My name is Zobra Black. You are my sister and you are my brother. And today, I would like to share with you the fear of the unknown. The coronavirus, aka COVID-19, has awakened a fear of the unknown in so many of us. This fast-moving virus is affecting our community at a higher rate than others. Those who are most vulnerable are those who are 65 and older or have pre-existing illnesses like asthma, diabetes, and heart disease. The fear of the unknown is palpable for an individual like me. I speak from the heart as a person who suffers from asthma and a heart condition. As an usher and member of the Society of Mission at my church, First Baptist Church, Piney Grove, under the leadership of my pastor, Dr. Derek J. Hughes, I am having to adjust to the new normal that has come with this pandemic. Prior to COVID-19, I would find fulfilling work in fellowship with my usher ministry in the Women's of the Mission. We would meet twice a month in addition to our weekly Sunday service and Bible study on Wednesday night. This time held so much value for our elder members who are widowed or have family members that lives in different states, even in different countries. This time is also precious for me. I lost my mother in 2008, and as a part of my healing, it is the fellowship I have with the elder women in my circle. However, the fear of the unknown with this virus has caused us to change the way we embrace each other. I have committed to doing my part by shopping for the essential items needed to go through this pandemic for our members who are not able to shop for themselves. Simple, everyday household items like the toilet tissue, Lysol, and bleach have been so hard to find. However, as an able-bodied individual, I will get up 3 to 4 times a week and go to Costco and BJ's to ensure our members will have the necessities. Typically, whenever I am doing the work that I was called upon to do, I would engage with my members with conversation, a warm hug, and smile. COVID-19 has caused me to be very unsociable, as I can only drop the items off at the doors or in the mailbox. Within my circle, we make weekly phone calls to each other. Since the pandemic, those phone calls has become lengthy, at times overwhelming. Because of the fear of the unknown, we are unable to visit or travel out. The isolation of being at home alone can be depressing. This feeling is tenfold for the members who are sick and shut in. We are unable to comfort them in their time of need. This feeling goes further for those who have lost loved ones during this pandemic. Our traditional form of grieving with one another has been stripped from us. The fear of the unknown has caused immense grief and loneliness. Though I am making the necessary adjustment to remain safe during this pandemic, this time away from my church and our great association, my family and friends has caused me to become depressed at times. I thrive in being social with others and being a servant to my community. I hear the call of loneliness from my church members, but I'm afraid to visit. The fear of not knowing if I could pass this virus on by sharing a simple hug scares me. Not only for those I care for, but for my family and myself as a high-risk person. But God, I am looking forward to the future. However, as time goes on, we will find a way to combat this pandemic and get it under control. And as I wait until this is over, I remind myself daily who I am, a child of God and a usher. And I hold dear to my 6 qualifications that makes me an usher. And I would like to share them with you. Number 1, I am a Christian. I profess that Jesus Christ is my Savior and He is my Lord. Number 2, courteous. I am courteous to all, especially the poor, lame, blind. I am polite and keep a pleasant smile. Number 3, alertness. The word means to always be quick to act, to watch. I must always stay alert for whatever emergency may arrive. Number 4, promptness. Promptness means to be quick to act as the occasion demands. I can manifest myself intelligently in any crucial moment. And number 5, courageousness. I am courageous because I can face life with a smile when things are not so pleasant. I can meet my obligation, sorrow and joy. I am always ready to give a helping hand where it's needed. And number 6, discipline. I am disciplined with control. My guidance comes from within and truly motivated by the love of God to serve. And when that time comes, when we return back to normal, when life returns back to normal, I will remember my pledge as an usher to continue to serve my church and my Florida East Coast Baptist Association family with a pure heart, clean hands, and breath that is not offensive to those I welcome into the house of the Lord. I further pledge to abide by the rules and regulations of the board and superior officers. I will attend my meetings and serve when called upon within reason, as well as keep my financial obligation to the board. I am a covenant partner, and you should be too. Thank you. God bless. Sister Sober Black, your servant leader.
Hello, I'm Pastor Toby Philpart, moderator of the Florida East Coast Baptist Association. Part of the church's success relies on our ability to adapt. Our goal is to shift from the traditional method of multiple offerings and create a covenant partnership with you, our family. This allows for us to effectively do ministry in areas of mission, evangelism, and education. As a covenant partner, you would gain access to our corporate partners, our digital resources. You would become our ally in kingdom building. The steps to becoming a covenant partner is very simple. Visit fecbaptist.org. Make a minimum pledge, which can be given incrementally throughout the calendar year or all at once. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it even entered into the imagination of thought what God has in store for those of us who love him. God bless you.